On Easter Sunday, I came home from church and was changing when it suddenly felt like my ribs got crushed by a baseball bat. I assumed it was growing pains, so I didn't think much of it. It's been 20 years since that spring, and every year when I go back for a checkup, my memories come flooding back to me. Three days later, I collapsed while running at lacrosse practice. As I was leaving the field to go to the hospital, my coach turned to my dad and told him to have the doctor check my throat. After a couple x-rays, the doctor said my problem could be several things, and just to call my regular doctor if nothing changed over the next couple days. As he handed my papers to leave, my dad asked him to check my throat. That following Tuesday, I laid in the recovery room as the doctor told my parents that he got it all. As I got up to leave, I passed out on top of my mom.
He's been through so much.
3 days later, with my family gathered in my bedroom, my father sat on my bed and started crying. He looked at me and said, "You have cancer." That afternoon, I went to meet Dr. Draker. He informed me that the tumor they found in my tonsils was non-Hodgkin's Burkitt's lymphoma. He was afraid that it spread through my whole system. On Monday, I went to 5C in Upstate. Dr. Kennedy explained all the worst-case scenarios that could happen to me. Immediately, she put me through a barrage of tests to see the extent of my cancer. I endured spinal taps, bone scans, MRIs, CAT scans, x-rays, and nightmares all week that goblins were trying to get me after watching my pregnant doctor jamming a needle in my hip trying to get bone marrow. After misdiagnosing and having to repeat the tests again, they informed me that I was stage 4, end stage, and I had 6 months to live. I was immediately started on chemotherapy. I asked the doctor how active I could be. Could I go to school? Could I play lacrosse? Every Tuesday I went to Upstate for my chemo treatments. At the end of the day I could go home if my indicators were good. For 4 weeks I was able to resume a semi-normal life. I went to school, played in 6 more games than the doctor thought, and I wasn't getting sick. The 4th week into treatment, I woke up from chemotherapy to a burning pain in my stomach. My doctor told me that it was my body's way of telling me that I needed to take it easy, and I might be going through sickness, just like every other patient has.
Finally getting sick.
I went home that night and was laughing at the TV when my pain started feeling worse. My mom gave me some pills to help with the side effects. Early the next morning, I woke up feeling like someone just shot me in the stomach. I tried to get up, but my body was paralyzed. I felt trapped. "Mom, Dad." They called the doctor and said that I wasn't feeling good, and he insisted it was side effects. He thought that the chemo was finally catching up to me, but to come in anyways and he would check me out. All of a sudden, my pain stopped. I went numb. When I got to the hospital, I was in and out of consciousness. They ran some quick tests and informed my parents I needed another surgery. Immediately. As they wheeled me into surgery, the doctor looked at me. "I'm going to take care of you. You just need to breathe." I never really woke up. I was aware that I was in the hospital. I saw nurses constantly checking in on me, along with my oncologist and surgery doctor coming in and out of my room. I had no idea if it was day or night. During that time, I kind of pieced together what was happening to me.
Chemo's destroyed his immune system.
I understood that my appendix had ruptured and that I was in surgery for 8 hours. And I kept hearing over and over again that I was in critical condition.
He'll be lucky if he lives through the weekend.
My parents informed me that I'd be in the hospital for at least 2 weeks, and then we'd see what happens after that. Every time I heard something different, I would take a deep breath and go back to sleep. A couple days later, I overheard the doctors talking to my parents. If they start up the chemotherapy again, the infection may spread and kill me. If they don't start it up again, the cancer may spread and kill me. Every day after that, I exponentially got better. A week and a half after my surgery, I was given chemotherapy and sent home to recover. For the next 5 weeks, I finished up my chemo treatments. I went through another series of tests to see if there was any trace of the cancer. A week later, I received a phone call from my doctor. He said he couldn't find anything, and that I was in remission. I had won the battle. Every day since then, I've had to be vigilant about my health. My eyes have become light sensitive. I've been hospitalized for bacteria and for herniated discs. Every year since then, I've gone back as a kid, not on therapy, or not patient. As I approach my 20th year as a survivor, I take a deep breath and realize remission is just a word.